Hello everybody.
Hello.
And welcome to another edition of Queen's Court. I'm Kirsty.
I'm Dave.
And today we've got quite a little bit to talk about, haven't we?
Yeah, it's going to be mainly about a massive show we saw a week before last, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the Steel Cage from UPW because it was a fantastic show.
Yeah, and I'm not sure for you, but it feels like my first show for quite a while, at least.
Yeah, it was mine as well, I think, yeah.
I'm not sure what was the last show we went to?
Probably UPW.
It feels like it was
Because it
forever
wouldn't
ago.
reach.
Yeah, but I know as well that I've missed at least one UPW show.
Yeah, naughty you.
So,
Naughty.
I suppose that the main question before we get into it is, how do you feel about the local scene now after the show we just went to?
Well, I think to be honest with you, UPW now has really relit my fire for some wrestling again because I was not going off it. I've had a few things happen where I've not looked at wrestling the same. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it sort of put me off a little bit for a while. And I sort of could do without it. And to be honest with you, lockdown sort of changed me a bit. I don't know if it does you, but I've sort of doing more other things now. So it's like football, cricket in the summer, life basically. But
yeah, like for me it wasn't so much lockdown, but it's just now I'm really, really busy. I'm working full time. I'm studying full time. It's difficult for me to sort of make the time. And there are some shows where it's like, sometimes it's like, do you know what I mean? Difficult to kind of be able to like rejig everything around. But
and the thing is,
this show, I was like, absolutely, I am going to be there.
The thing is, you've got to be motivated, I think, now as well. I think we both have them. We've got to be a bit motivated. We've got to be excited for a show now.
Yeah, like if there's a card where I'm just kind of like, you know, it looks good, don't get me wrong, but it has to, like, I have to really want to sort of be there and like rejig my sort of plans around.
If it don't stand out, they're not going to get your attention so much, are they?
Yeah, but this one definitely did. Like, I really, really liked how it's not very often that we see a steel cage at these shows sort of locally. I just love though how UPW went one step further and everything was in the cage.
I think I've only ever seen one steel cage match before, and that was at CSF, and it was Eddie, wasn't it, against JD Knight?
Yeah. So it felt like a real sort of special treat.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. And when you walk into the Western Centre as well, and you see that steel cage and all the lights around it, it makes it feel special.
It was the perfect venue for a show like that. No,
it was. Yeah, it was because and remember we went into them. Was it War Games at the Guild up the Corn Exchange?
Yes.
And you saw the flag up on the pole and that.
Warzone, yeah.
Warzone, that's right. And it looked special then, and it looks special now.
It just immediately kind of set the scene, the tone, and just made you like really excited for it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I think I saw a poll on Facebook on the UPW site saying, "Would you like to see Wars at Steel Cage every year?"
I was just about to mention that. I was going to say, what did you vote?
I didn't actually vote.
Okay, well, what would you vote if you were voting on it now?
I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd want to say every year.
Okay.
Maybe every couple of years.
Okay.
You know, I mean, every year might be a bit. No, I don't know.
I think every year is fine because it could be like the WrestleMania of. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think as long as you don't see too many of them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that any other. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I've not really known of any other shows around here to do something like
not a whole show. No. They've done the odd match, haven't they, before? But...
And didn't they say that it was their biggest crowd in the history of UPW?
They sold 500 tickets.
That's great.
That is amazing. You know, I know. You know what? As long as I'm not doing the WWE thing, it's saying we've sold 500 tickets. You know, a record event. But you know,
no, I just remember seeing that it was their biggest in the history.
But when we walked into the venue, and we got there quite early, as we usually tend to do.
Yeah.
But we were sitting down and with our friends, and as the evening went on before we got let in, I've never seen Western so full.
That's very true.
You know, in the foyer, waiting, you know, having a drink and a laugh and a chat with everybody. I've never seen that full before when we've been to other shows there. Not even in the heady days of Big League. Yeah,
well, I can't really comment as much on that, but yeah. It was really good though. It was such a good atmosphere, like from the get-go.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Great crowd there, wasn't it?
Yeah. And who did we start off with then?
We started off with Mark Fry, against Lance Cole.
And it was just interesting, like, going into this one because of all the build-up around it. Obviously, I know that part of that couldn't be helped because of the pandemic and everything, but it was just like,
this was a slow burn, wasn't it?
Finally, we get the culmination of it. And
this was a slow burn, wasn't it?
It was worth the wait.
Absolutely, yeah.
Although before we did get started, obviously we will mention about Yeston Rees.
Yeston Rees came out
attacking Lance.
Got him from behind, didn't he? You know,
we should have known though that Mark Fry would have had something.
He's always got an ace up his sleeve, hasn't he? Really, Mark. But it was quite funny because Mark came with the old baggy shorts sort of that. Yeah. You know? And I did shout out at one point, "I've seen more meat on a butcher's pencil." But you know, but to be honest with you, with Mark though, when he was in the ring, he has wrestled before in the past.
Yeah.
And he looked very good. Yeah. He didn't look out of place, to be fair.
Like for someone who doesn't wrestle on the regular and stuff.
I thought he'd done really well.
He did. There were a couple of things that happened that I was like, oh my god.
Almost like he took some nasty bumps,
he did some crazy stuff, really.
He did, yeah. So did a few other wrestlers in that show, but yeah.
Yeah.
You just didn't want Lance's face to be hit, did you, really?
Well, I just didn't...
Not the face, Lance.
I just didn't want Lance to lose, I'm not going to lie.
No, I was the same.
He definitely deserved his moment of vengeance.
Yeah, he deserved his revenge, didn't he?
He definitely did, and I do think that this match maybe took a couple of years off my life because it's always like really stressful in a way when it's like, are they going to escape? Yeah. Are they not?
Well, I hope it don't take a couple of years off my life because I can't afford to lose mine, you go.
No, but you know, like towards the end when you have Mark was going for the door, Lance was climbing over and I'm just like, hurry up. Yeah. Like honestly, it was almost too much to watch.
It was, yeah.
But like Yeston's interference on the outside sort of did.
And Yeston was stopping Lance from climbing over, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah, no matter what side Lance got to, Yeston was there.
Yeston was there stopping him. We said Lance should have just jumped on him, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, just throw yourself off there. Yeah. You've taken out Yeston and then you've won. Yeah, you know.
Killed two birds with one stone.
Exactly.
But no, it was a really good match, wasn't it? And, I was really surprised how many supporters Mark had as well.
Yeah.
You know, I suppose loyalty, isn't it? You know, it's loyalty to the boss.
They just don't want to get banned.
No, this is what it is, you see. Yeah. Yeah. So at least now, hopefully, we can go back to cheering Mark like the gentleman promoter that he is.
Here is the big question, though. Right. So this feud has ended. Lance got the win. We've had the happy ending, but because this has been so long in the making, what's next for both Mark and Lance?
I think Mark should stick to promoting in future because he don't want to pick on the wrong people again. I mean, God Almighty, he picked on the wrong person with Lance, didn't he? Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like me trying to pick on Hulk Hogan or something, wouldn't it? Really, brother. But yeah, and I think Lance has got the potential to go away.
Yeah.
I think I think one day he could be challenging Flex for the
Yeah, I was going to say, you know. Surely he should be. It should be on the horizon for him. Well,
you'd hope so, wouldn't you? You'd hope so because he's a really good wrestler as well. Lance,
and he's been going for quite a while. He's been in UPW for a while.
He might have a bit of a feud with Yeston for a while, mightn't he?
That's very true.
You know, I mean, if Yeston was interfering in his match, then he might want to. He's now taught Mark Fry a lesson. Perhaps he wants to teach Yeston a lesson.
Yeah.
That'd be quite
Number
good.
one contenders match.
Ooh, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Imagine if that happened.
Yeah, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it?
Because they'd both be a good challenger.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Imagine if both those in a match with Flex would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But we don't want to give too much away for the main event later.
But just like Lance and Yeston would be an amazing match.
Oh, fantastic, wouldn't it? Yeah.
They're both pretty built.
Oh, they're well built. Big boys, aren't they? Big, strong boys.
It'd be hard to predict who's going to win that one.
It would, yeah. Oh, yeah, good match, that. I'd give it 4 out of 5.
So I always find it really hard to sort of like score or rank matches.
Well, we won't rank matches. We won't score rank matches.
I'm the most indecisive person ever.
You don't say.
Everybody knows that.
You don't say.
But after Mark Fry and Lance Cole, we had a bit of a barn burner for our next match, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Did you see what I did there?
Yeah, I saw what you did there. Very good, very good. We battled the Cowboys, wasn't it? Or the Farmhands, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, it was James Storm against Country Pig, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think Josh has been fantastic. We've liked him for a long, long time, haven't we?
Yeah.
And he just keeps on getting better and better, really, Lance. Josh, he keeps on getting better and better.
Well, you're calling me Lance or anything else.
Perhaps I was, yeah. Yeah. You know that you look like Lance Colo.
No. I wish. Anyway,
there's operations for that, you know.
Let's just get back to this match. So, I've lost my train of thought now. I was going to say
Country Pig against James Storm.
To be completely honest, I was kind of rooting for Josh. I didn't really think he was going to win, but it's just like I just felt really happy for him.
Oh,
he's getting this match, and he's taking on such a high-profile wrestler that this should put him on the map a wee bit more. I think
it has, yeah.
He really, really deserves that. He deserves to have those opportunities, and I was just really happy for him.
He does. To be honest with you, he's been one of our favourites for a long time, hasn't he, really?
Yeah.
It's not just... he's a great wrestler, but it's his facial expressions, his interactions with the crowd when he's a bad guy.
Oh, I absolutely loved it when he got out of the cage.
Oh, and tried to get over the...
to sort of have a go at those kids that were sort of sat behind Terry.
Yeah.
It was great. And then they were sort of winding him up, calling him a chicken, telling him to get back in there.
Yeah, and sometimes it's funny because you see him say stuff and he's trying not to laugh, isn't he, when he says it? But
he just plays the part so well.
But hell of a hard-hitting match, wasn't it?
Oh my God, yeah. I think, though, you couldn't really expect...
anything less
than that.
No, but it's nothing more, like you said, it's nothing more than Josh deserves for to start getting the big matches with people like that, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's I felt similar to when we saw him in Chaos that time. Just really, really happy for him. Just glad that he's getting the opportunities, because he's been going for 10+ years.
Oh, yeah. On a card, a massive card like that, I was going to say that match could be, if it weren't for the unification match at the end, that could have been the main event.
Oh, definitely a main event.
But then there's about 2 or 3 other matches that could have been.
I was going to say pretty much anything.
Yeah.
That just goes to show sort of the caliber of UPW, the matches that they put on.
To be honest with you, you get UPW now, and their wrestlers now, the caliber of wrestlers they've got, like you've just said, are top notch. Every match could be a main event, couldn't it?
Yeah, everybody is just so deserving.
And that's what excites the crowds. That's what gets people going back.
Yeah. I would say that, the atmosphere, the crowd were pretty throughout the match. Yeah. No, throughout the whole show, sorry.
And I think from what I can gather, UPW are doing really well with the crowds and obviously hopefully making a bit of profit on it. So they can pump that back in towards the wrestlers, can't they?
It's really good.
Getting in the big names like what
they know they know what works well and what the fans want to see, and
the booking at the moment's great.
Yeah,
the booking's great. The stories are coming to a natural conclusion.
Yeah,
something happens and you know why.
Yeah,
and then you can see, and maybe 3 months down the line you'll think, oh, this happened back then. Yeah, wonder if that's going to happen now. That's why this has happened, and you can put the pieces together. It's like a jigsaw, and you put it together, and it all works.
I was just going to say, I'm not sure if I've sort of said this on here before. I don't even know what I did last week, let alone a couple of years back or whatever.
No.
Previously, before the pandemic, if I'd had any sort of constructive criticisms of UPW at all, it would be that they had a little less stories, and that they didn't always sort of follow up with
Sometimes
things.
they fizzled out, didn't they?
Yeah, sometimes you'd have something happen and you'd think, oh, where's this going? And then it just kind of would get dropped. But I really like that there's more sort of cohesive stories and everything throughout the shows. Yeah.
Well, like you say, with this match, it was obviously Josh challenged James Storm at Big League, didn't he?
Yes.
And one night stand. But like I say, a lot of the other matches, they've actually got a story to them, and they're all linked together.
Yeah, it just feels a lot more consistent now than maybe it did before.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I like that.
I do.
But I really enjoyed the finish of this match as well. With the beer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was just really it was just fun.
God, yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, when they spitting beer at each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though Josh didn't get the win, he still shone.
Well, this is the thing about wrestling. Sometimes you can get put over even if you lose. You can make your star rise even more.
Yeah.
By losing. Josh is well respected down this way anyway, isn't he, in the Southwest? Yeah. And but his star after that match must have gone so much. You would hope that if people like Chaos and that sort of thing saw him, they think, well, we're getting back again now.
Yeah. Do you think they'll ever get James Storm back?
What, UPW?
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
I'd love to see him
He was a really nice guy as well. We met him at the meet and greet afterwards, didn't we?
He was very nice to talk to. He's got a good sense of humour.
Yes, yeah. He embarrassed you, didn't he?
I just don't really quite know what to do with myself, and I don't really know how to... I'm just not very good socially, okay?
Yeah. What he said to you? He said, you said, can I have a picture? And you said, no.
I asked if I could have a picture with him. He said, no, I'm sold out, and I'm not going to push back on that, so I just went, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was the most awkward moment, and then he was like, well, I'm obviously joking.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I didn't want to assume you were joking.
It's like he said to me, we can have a picture, and he stood about 3 yards away. Right, this is the nearest we're getting, he goes.
Yeah.
And his dad come in, he said, put his arm around you and chatted with him. Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah,
I know a few people were disappointed with Scotty Tuotti at Big League, weren't they? But
yeah.
what a contrast. I mean, to be honest with you, we found him all right, didn't we?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I don't know. Like, was he maybe getting tired?
Probably,
and,
yeah.
Because he's probably doing a lot of dates all over the UK, and I think this was towards the end of his time in the UK.
I think it was actually, because he's been up north before as well.
Yeah. It's difficult because it's like it can be really disappointing if somebody is like having a bad day. But
I suppose if you're asked the same questions 9 or 10 times, 15 times, 20 times,
it's difficult to maintain the same energy.
I mean, we were lucky. I suppose we saw him. We were the first 2 or 3 people to see him, weren't we?
Yeah, and I think really I probably started with the a really big part of my childhood.
Yeah,
my brother's going to be well, Gel.
Yeah, well, who could be grumpy when he sees you, Kirsty?
Many people, probably.
Well, there you go. See, I don't want to say too much, but yeah.
So, next up.
Yeah. Next up was Carl Atlas.
Versus Eddie Ryan.
Yeah,
in a last man standing match.
Yeah. Oh, what a match that was, wasn't it? It had everything. Yeah.
Last man standing matches, like, for me anyway, just always feel really, like, intense. And then the cage just added to that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's difficult to know who to root for because, obviously... Eddie Ryan, one of my favourites, and Carl Atlas is like really, really cool though, and I love his whole thing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
But also you've got the element of, well, Eddie's kind of like the bad guy here.
Well, you say that.
Because he attacked Carl Atlas. I don't actually, I know that I missed a couple of shows here, so I don't have the full context. Do we know why he attacked Carl Atlas?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so, but...
Were you going to say that Carl Atlas isn't exactly an angel because
he's had a lot of interference recently. Bullet's been interfering.
Matches.
He's won a couple matches through Bullet. Mad Dog, interfering. Yeah, sorry, yeah. I always get those two mixed up, Mad Dog and Bullet. I was going to say something about Bullet later, but Mad Dog, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought...
yeah, Mad Dog, yeah. No, Mad Dog's been interfering like 2 or 3 times now.
But I don't think that Carl Atlas necessarily needs that interference.
He doesn't. Well, no, he doesn't need it, but he's benefited from it, hasn't he? So, that sort of makes... and he robbed Lance Cole, didn't he, of a match when he put his foot on the ropes to win?
Yeah, I don't think I was there, but I heard about it.
Yeah, well, I was ranting about that, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
I'll be ranting later in a minute as well.
So do you think, then, that there was a clear-cut good guy and bad guy in this match?
No, well, not for the crowd. Not for the fans.
No, just generally speaking.
No, I don't think there was.
Or is it a bit of a grey area?
I think they were trying... Actually, Grey, what's it got to do with anything? But
just answer the question.
I think UPW wanted it to be more black and white than what it was. I think they wanted Eddie to be more of a bad guy and Carl Atlas to be more of a good guy. But because Mad Dog's been interfering so much and cost wrestlers matches, I think a lot of the fans were cheering on Eddie.
I actually really enjoy it when it isn't clear cut because life isn't always black and white, and there's often a lot of sort of nuances to everything.
Nuances, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I only joking. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
And I like when that's kind of also reflected in the storylines in wrestling because it isn't always an obvious good guy and bad guy. It's like I really enjoy it when there is a heel, but they've got a point. You sort of agree with them, not necessarily like the way they're going about things. Exactly.
And Mark Fry. They were both tweeners like, weren't they, really?
Yeah, but I could always agree with Lance.
Yeah, of course you would.
No, just because of the fact that he was always getting screwed over, SFP, then Mark Fry.
Yeah,
it's like, he's not actually done anything wrong.
And when he got beat by Carl Atlas.
Exactly. So,
I do remember ranting at, not ranting, but shouting at him at Atlas, you don't deserve anything, Atlas, you get help all the time, and that sort of thing. So, well, I was fuming then.
I mean, I guess that he's not going to complain about it if he's getting help.
No, of course not, if he's winning.
And he's benefiting. I will say, though, that I did enjoy seeing a more aggressive side of Eddie.
Yes. Oh, yeah, Eddie looked good.
And he had new gear. So he had, like, the tights.
Yes,
and he had the little doodah on his... So he had his lion mask, but he also had a bit on his like
the shoulder pads and that. Yeah.
Yes, I just couldn't think of the word.
What about someone else's little doodah for a minute?
Oh my god, I wasn't even... I was confused about your confusion. I was like, what are you understanding? I gestured to my shoulders. Anyway... No, but I always like seeing something new from... Yes. Like, anybody.
Yeah. Well, it's like when Eddie wore the face paint that time and
yes,
at Reach and a few other shows.
And that was the music that he had at UPW. It was a different music.
Yeah.
And that's the music he used when he debuted that new gimmick at Reach.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah. Ah.
So I thought, are we going to...
What a great memory you've got.
Yeah, I don't know how I remember these things. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to see like a different side of Eddie. I just didn't know what that was going to entail.
A very intense side, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was
Win
really...
at all costs, really.
And did you notice as well that he wasn't really interacting with the fans like he usually would do?
No,
if he had his
that sort of means he's trying to be more of a heel sort of figure, doesn't it, really?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
But he did have a lot of support.
Or it could just mean he's a lot more focused on just getting the job done.
Getting the job done, yeah. Yes.
He's not got time for pleasantries. No. He's not messing around.
All right, on your point.
No, but I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
I hope that like this is something that we see more often. It was nice to see that just something like a little bit different. You know, not the normal kind of like very big like family friendly. I mean, not to say he wasn't family friendly, but you know, he normally interacts with the fans and the children. There was just none of that.
Oh, what about when Atlas got thrown off the cage by Eddie onto those ladders and
it even dented
and the
safety
barrier dented, didn't it? Buckled.
Because I didn't clock that at first. I just thought, you know, that was brutal landing on the ladder like that. Then when you noticed the barricade, it was
I got a picture of you when he went off the ladder. You look, you look really shocked.
I always get particularly horrified for these kinds of things because you think, how could you do you know what I mean?
And I swear there was an indentation in Eddie's head where he got hit by a keyboard. Well, no, there was an indentation. I think you could see the keyboard's outlines on his head, couldn't you? At one point, he got it so hard. Amazing.
It's just absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
The tables looked... the tables were a bit smaller.
Yeah, they were.
Cost of living crisis has impacted UPW.
Well, yeah.
They had to get a smaller table.
Yeah, but they were sturdy, weren't they? They looked sturdier.
They looked awful. They looked horrific.
I tell you what, though, UPW have come a long way in tables since the Sabu show at Weymouth.
What happened at the Sabu show in Weymouth?
This table at Weymouth was an absolute... It must have been from the 1950s, I think. And you know, we did have a laugh about it because they put it up and then it sort of the bottom half fell away, so there's like half a table there. So Sabu was like sort of bending over the table trying to keep it up at the same time while Jake McCluskey jumped off the top.
And the table.
And jumping off the Howard and jumping off the top rope and but that was a horrendous table. That was the worst table I've ever seen. I think. But these were a lot better.
So with Carl Atlas and Eddie Ryan, who did you want to win?
Eddie. I'd had enough of Carl Atlas getting Mad Dog to interfere all the time.
So when Mad Dog appeared in this match, were you just thinking, oh God, here we go again?
Well, you heard me. You were booing him and shouting at him. I was giving him a right go, wasn't I? I was a right go at him.
I will just say though, from this match, don't you think Mad Dog would make an amazing referee? Because he got hit once and he was down for half the match.
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was thinking, do you know what? He'd make an amazing referee.
Oh, he would, yeah. It was brilliant.
He was on the floor more than CM3 during a match.
Yeah,
he really was.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about referees here. You wouldn't want to take them Christmas shopping through the high street, would you? One bump on the shoulder, they'd be good footballers, wouldn't they? These referees.
Yeah. Honestly, though, when Mad Dog appeared, I just thought,
here we go again.
I hope this isn't it.
Yeah. I to be honest with you, I thought it was going to be it.
Yeah, I thought, here we go. And to be honest, I kind of thought maybe Carl Atlas would win because, like, vindication for when Eddie attacked him. Yeah. I'd like to know why he got attacked. Maybe we'll find out at a later date.
Maybe we've just missed it. I don't know.
Somebody please inform us. Because I remember asking you.
Yeah.
Have we had any context? And to be fair, I asked Lisa as well, and she said no.
No, right, fair enough. So
I've heard from two people that we've had no context.
Maybe it was just Eddie looking for a chance at the title at the time. Just
maybe.
Still title over them, wasn't he?
A lion stalks their prey.
Well, they do indeed.
So, I wonder what would be next for Carl Atlas. Like,
yeah. Maybe he's going to go with Mad Dog and do the beards or something. Or
maybe him and Mad Dog are going to fall out because he keeps interfering.
Yeah.
And on this occasion, it didn't help.
No, and I think it would be nice if they did actually have a bit of a punch up because they're good wrestlers.
I just kind of feel like there was I believe it was probably the last UPW show that I was at.
Mm-hmm. That was
they were both in. I don't know if I was at that one. No. They were both in like the Hardcore Invitational, and I just kind of felt like if that was me, I wouldn't be able to trust them.
No, right, okay.
I was having to picture it, that's why I closed my eyes. No, but if you remember that, like, they were helping each other, but there were a couple of moments where it just seemed like, oh, do I detect a little bit of tension?
Yeah, but I remember now.
Are they going to be a wee bit opportunistic?
Yeah, I remember that, but didn't...
Looking at you, Mad Dog.
Yeah, but didn't you see Mad Dog cover up Carl Atlas at one point? So he couldn't... So somebody was going to jump on him, wasn't it? And they jumped up or hit him with something, and he ended up taking it.
Maybe I just have trust issues, but I thought it could all be a facade.
Well, it could be. It could be.
I just wonder. I just wonder if I could detect trouble on the horizon.
There's trouble up mill.
Or is it wishful thinking?
Well, you can.
Probably.
You can, but hope.
Probably. And then...
The interval.
Yes.
We could recharge our batteries.
Yeah, I think that
three intense matches.
After the carnage of the last man standing match, because they went here, there and everywhere, there were weapons all over the shop.
Yeah.
Because the way it ended...
Yeah, it cleared up as well, didn't it?
When they came off the stage, like...
Yeah.
I didn't even know what was happening. I couldn't really see.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane, and I think that everybody needed a bit of a breather after it. So I think that was a good
That's
placement
one thing
on the card.
I was surprised at, really, that Carl Atlas didn't get up for the 10 count. I thought he would. I thought, usually the good guys do, don't they? But that surprised me a bit. But then obviously,
like
that's the only way you can win.
It wasn't a clear cut.
No, it wasn't. But
was he the good guy?
Well, you don't know, do you?
Sometimes there are no good guys and there are no bad guys.
They're all just gits.
There's just guys.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah.
No, like I don't think that there was a good guy or a bad guy.
No.
They've both got their things that they've done that are good and things that they've done that are questionable. And I quite liked that.
Yeah.
It was an interesting dynamic.
It was.
It's nice. Sometimes it's nice to see a crowd split like that.
I think so, yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, it happened quite a few times that night, didn't it?
Yeah.
But so we had the interval, which I want to say, UPW have started doing shows without intervals now. Not for the big shows like this, but
the
for normal
last show
shows,
you were at and I wasn't.
And I actually prefer that.
What, the no interval?
Yeah, I actually prefer that because then you just get on with it, don't you? Because I think sometimes...
Just get on with it?
Yeah, I think sometimes you've been at shows, we've been at shows, and you've been great up till half time. You have 15, 20, 25 minutes, or sometimes they drag on to half an hour, and then the crowd's just flat.
Oh, the energy sort of dissipates because you've lost the momentum. Yeah.
But like you say, with the other UPW shows, you have breaks, and I think that's... Don't have breaks, sorry, and I think that's a lot better.
Okay, I think though maybe it kind of like depends for me.
Right, yeah.
So, like...
But I was glad they had a break at this one.
Yeah, I think we needed a breather. I think that...
And then he did side, yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. But I think that sometimes, like, the sort of lineup of the card and the placement of the interval really makes the difference.
Yeah.
It depends on what you've got coming up. It depends.
Yeah, no, true.
I think there's a lot of factors.
True.
So what did we have after the interval?
Oh, we had SFP.
Yes.
Against Adam De Silva and supposedly Harlan Hayes.
Yes.
But there's a bit of a surprise on there.
Harlan Hayes was not in the match in the end.
No.
Max Castle came to take his place.
Yeah.
And that was when I thought...
That was one of the biggest cheers.
I really don't know which way this match is going to go.
That was one of the biggest cheers. Like when Max came out, wasn't it?
That was exciting.
He's well loved, Max, isn't he?
Yeah.
And to be honest, so was Adam as well, and Josh. I mean, SFP are left as well, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, sir, SFP, let's not forget
all right,
that.
Yeah, I know which side you were on.
Yes.
We were on opposite sides of the coin for that one, weren't we?
I know, it doesn't happen that often, but when it does.
Yeah.
I just felt that, SFP have been unfortunate for a while now, and they deserve to have their moment.
Unfortunate? In what way?
Well, whenever I've gone to see them, they haven't won, and that's unfortunate.
Well, that's why I took you, because I thought you were going to lose again. So that's the reason I took you.
I feel like they were beginning to blame me, because I said to them last time, I said to Dan McGee last time I saw him, ever since I've come around to you guys' side, you've just been losing all the time.
Well, let's be honest, it's never SFP's fault, so they'll never blame themselves anyway, with those two.
That's because it often isn't their fault, believe it or not.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
So, there was a special stipulation with this match, no?
Yeah, there was.
Which was?
Which was that if Adam and Max now wins, SFP was split up.
Forever.
Yeah. Well, in wrestling, nothing's forever.
I know, right?
But if SFP win, Adam would have to retire.
Forever! But there is no forever in wrestling.
This is true. Yeah, especially if you're Ric Flair.
I think they just rely on wrestling fans not having very good memory.
Yeah, they're like my memory, it won't last very long, will it? But,
So the stakes were high.
They're very high, yeah.
So there was I feel like there was a lot of tension going into this match. This might have taken a couple of years off my life again,
That's 4 years, right?
I know.
You'll be dead next week if you carry on like this.
I know.
Yeah.
But
peace and quiet for me.
it was really interesting. It was an interesting match, and SFP were pulling out all the stops.
Both sides were.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about when they got the handcuffs out to handcuff
You would.
Max to the side of the cage. Because obviously,
Yeah.
Max is a pretty scary dude. He's a big threat.
Big threat.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a steel cage with Max Castle.
Not if he was on the other side, no.
No.
If he was on my team,
So
yeah.
I thought it was quite resourceful of SFP to do that. I love how you're actually nodding along. I'm praising SFP for doing something underhanded.
But it didn't really work. He sort of busted out of it in no time, didn't he?
He's just too strong.
He is too strong, yeah. But,
it was actually quite funny.
It was quite funny because it looked a bit shocked when he happened. Look how strong I am.
We're all just like, wait, what?
I've broken these handcuffs already. So I volunteered your pair, but they didn't want to take them, did they? So,
No, they didn't.
But, yeah, so I tell you what, though. What a match. Another one of the matches that could have been a main event, didn't it, really? Yeah,
no, there was quite a few big spots and stuff that happened. Like I saw Dan McGee put one on his story the other day where he it was just mad.
Oh, it's a fantastic match, wasn't it?
It really was, and I just really like the chemistry that they all have with each other.
For me, probably the match of the night.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah.
Oh, it's between that and the last man standing match.
Right, yeah.
Wow, that's really tough.
It was tough, yeah. Even the main event match.
Yeah.
But I think to me, the tag team match, because it had such high stakes as well.
And again, this is another one that's been a long time coming. Because, I remember trouble brewing in that show in Exeter.
Yeah, because they had a backstage skit and they were all playing Castle, weren't they?
Yeah, because that was the show, like, with the beer and the...
the
powder.
Yeah, oh, God, yeah, I remember that. You've got good memory, haven't you?
Yeah, I just sort of remember these little snapshots.
But it was like Castle was constantly getting the blame from SFP whenever anything went wrong.
It's a little bit like going back to Mad Dog here. Sometimes it's a bit more of a hindrance than a help. Sometimes it's just not needed.
No.
And sometimes...
No. Max was doing his best.
Yeah, but I'm not saying, his intentions
It's not Max's fault that... Was it Rob Lyons wandered in the way of some powder that was supposed to go in the opponent's eyes? And he just staggered across.
He had it under control.
No, he didn't. That's why they needed Max for the powder in. But yeah, I've got to say, though, Adam De Silva has been a bloody good wrestler, and he's been a bloody good heel, and he's had a crowd all wrapped around his finger a lot of time.
Yeah, even though I wanted SFP to win,
I didn't.
I didn't. Right, I didn't want the consequences of that win. I just wanted a nice little win. Let's all be friends again.
Every match I've seen Adam at, he seems to have got better and better.
Yes,
and it seems. I suppose it's nice that he's gone out at his peak. Maybe
he's gone out on his own terms.
Yeah, he's gone out on his own terms. He's gone out at the top of the tree, really, isn't he? Because he's a fantastic wrestler. He's done really well. But
I like as well, obviously the way he's gone out on his own terms. Like the door will always be open.
Oh yeah, I mean you never know. I suppose he could always come back with Max Castle's manager.
Yeah, I mean you can never really rule it out. I mean, look at Lewis.
Yeah. He booked that one last match, didn't he?
Yeah. Lewis with his goodbye and
yeah.
Here he is again.
Yeah. I know he's.
But it's nice to see.
It is, yeah.
But,
so anyway, there was a bit of shenanigans, wasn't there, at the end?
Many shenanigans. So we had obviously Josh came down to ringside, didn't he? And we were like, "What's going on here?" Because he had the key. He had the key to the handcuff.
Oh right, yeah, Josh, yeah.
So he was there for moral support, and as he was there, the lights all went out.
Yeah,
and we thought, bloody hell,
weren't they? We thought the Undertaker was there out so long. I thought the Undertaker was going to come.
Thought it was the cost of living crisis again.
They forgot. Mark Fry got beaten up so much. Mark Fry forgot to put 50 pence in the meter, and that's what it happened.
Exactly, and then the lights came back on, and there was somebody else in the ring.
I'm never wearing this T-shirt again.
There was somebody else in the ring. They helped SFP get the win. They were really beating up Adam and Max.
Yeah,
and
disgusting.
Then it was revealed to be none other than Joshua James.
Joshua, Judas, James. Triple J.
That's quite a good...
I'm quite pleased with that. I'm quite impressed with that.
That's quite good.
I'm quite impressed with that. Was that just off the top of your head? That was JJ. Triple J, yeah.
I was shocked. I don't know who I expected, but it wasn't Josh James.
No, it wasn't. I was disappointed. I was shocked. I was gutted. I said to you, didn't I? I said, if I was wearing my Josh James t-shirt now, I would take it off and sit here topless for the rest of the show. I'd rather be mocked for my weight than mocked for wearing a Joshua James t-shirt now. After that,
I was proudly rapping down McGee.
You were indeed. Well, that's my t-shirt.
Yeah, I know. So
it's about 3 sizes too big for you, mine. But
Dan and Rob got the win.
Yeah.
SFP 2.0.
Yeah, maybe? I think that's going to happen. But do you know what I want to see? I want to see Max Castle get his hands on that Joshua Judas James.
What a match that would be, though.
It would be a good match.
Two powerhouses.
Especially when Max is beating him up. Like your mate beat him up last night at RevPro.
Here's the thing, though, right?
That's Brendan, by the way.
Let's just say that this match happens, right?
Yes.
You've got Max Castle and you've got Joshua James. Well, Josh has got Dan and Rob in his corner. Max hasn't got Adam in his corner anymore, has he? That was a bit harsh, wasn't it? I feel like maybe it was a bit too soon. Yeah, but he's not there all the time.
That's cruel. He could still be there as manager. Just because he can't wrestle.
I'm just saying he's not there all the time.
He can still move with a chair, can't he?
Yeah, but if he's in America, he can't do anything.
What, Adam?
No, I was talking about Josh.
Oh, Josh is always over. Josh comes over for all the matches, doesn't he, now?
Okay,
all the shows.
See.
Yeah. But Adam can be there as a manager and just hit him over the head with the chairs, can't he?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say Max and
take that.
Max and Josh will happen, no?
Well, I hope so. But let's just say this: with Joshua Judas James's recent tag team record in UPW, he doesn't last long with tag teams, does he?
Double J was sadly short-lived.
Double J was, yeah, but it's that's another one, isn't it? Josh and Josh. Eddie, he fell out with Eddie.
I was going to say Eddie.
And he fell out with Bullet. That's what I was remembering earlier. Bullet.
Okay.
Yeah, he always, when they lose, he always blames the partner.
Okay, well...
Yeah, so I don't think it's...
That's what's brought them together. SFP were blaming Max. Right. Joshua James is blaming
everybody else.
See, there we go.
Yeah.
This is how it happens.
So they're going to blame each other all the time, aren't they, when they lose?
No, well, they'll just be like, actually, we work really well together and nothing goes wrong.
Well, when they lose it...
Because of SFP, there's only one winner.
Yeah, not them.
I mean, I think that Steel Cage event would suggest otherwise.
Oh, yeah, no. Technicality. Technicality, that is. That was because it was unexpected. No, that Max has got his up here. He's probably been festering now. He's thinking about it and he's thinking, I'm going to get that Josh and hit him with a chair. Hit him with a chair.
Maybe at the anniversary show.
Oh, that'd be good. February.
That'd be good.
In Weymouth, yeah. Getting excited.
It's all the excitement.
Oh, I'm getting excited about wrestling again.
Speaking of excitement, we then had the main event. Unification match.
Yeah.
Champion versus champion.
Yeah.
Adam Maxted versus Simon Money Miller.
Moneymaker Miller, yeah. Yeah, that was a hell of a match, wasn't it, as well, Kirsty?
One of my favourite things about this before the match actually happened was you had Terry absolutely going mad for Simon Miller, and then just a couple seats away, Westy going mad. It was just really like...
And Lisa.
Yeah, but it's just really funny just to see them both.
Oh, yeah.
It was cracking me up.
Yeah, because we wanted Flex to win, didn't we?
Oh, absolutely.
We wanted Flex to win, but it was great. That was a mayhem, wasn't it, in the end of that one?
Yeah, there was... Oh, God, so much happened. Yeah. I actually didn't really know... You know, you could make a case either way.
Well, I thought beforehand that Simon was going to win.
I thought that, yeah, because he's got Lewis pulling all the strings.
Yeah, I wanted Flex to win.
Yeah.
But then, and I thought, well, like you say, Lewis had all the strings. He's got it up here, Lewis. He's a thinking man, isn't he?
But here's also what plays into it for me. Normally in UPW, I've got like a bit of a kiss of death going on, and everyone who I want to win doesn't win. And I thought, my luck is going so well here because Lance won, Eddie won, SFP won. It's not gonna work out the way I want because I've already had 3 good results. And you know, I was absolutely right that Lewis was causing trouble. Shall we say?
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Getting involved.
I
will actually just say as well, I did like when he wanted to announce Simon, because it's like, and we were shouting cheap Paul Heyman at him, and that was right. That was fun. That was really fun and really satisfying. But no, I think that Lewis plays his part very, very well.
Yeah, he does.
Even though, I love to hate him, but it's like he does. He makes me laugh.
He does. I love the way he runs around the ring, just like sometimes he's like on his hands and knees.
It's his reactions.
Like a bit of a repo man, isn't he?
His facial expressions and his reactions to things
he
that
sells things
happen.
well, doesn't he?
He does a very, very good job. Like, he's always on.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And it just really, like, adds to it. And just a little detail like that really does add to it all.
I mean, you don't really see that many managers down this way, do you? You know,
that's very true.
So it's nice to see one that plays it well.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose anybody could be a manager. It's just playing them well is an art, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and it's like with Lewis, you always know that he's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah.
You always know that he's up to something.
It's a bit like SFB, isn't it, really?
Like, he was, pretty adamant that Simon Miller, his guy, is going to win.
Well, it's his meal ticket, isn't it? What do you expect?
Interesting how, he suddenly turned on Flex like that, because he was all about Flex before, wasn't he, in the past?
Yeah, until he was able to
he got a new shiny toy.
Yeah,
in
shiny
Simon.
Head, especially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they're always wearing the sunglasses.
Yeah, stop the glare.
Yeah, but no,
another Lewis match, wasn't it?
Yeah, but thankfully, despite Lewis's interference, there was other people.
Well, you say thankfully at first when Josh Knott, Country Big, came running to the ring.
I thought, oh God, here we go.
Beating up on Flex, you were fearing the worst, weren't we?
Yeah, but I loved as well how he had, the money tucked into his knee cap.
Yeah, that was funny. That's a nice little touch, that.
Just the little things like that, so you're not thinking, what's Josh not doing here? It's got nothing to do with him. He's been paid off. I loved that.
Yeah.
And then in response to that, you had James Storm coming down to fix his wagon again.
And Lewis offered him money, just threw it away, didn't he? He took it straight away.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's nice, because at the end, James Storm sort of beat up Josh Knott and chucked him out, and then he sort of hit people over the head with beer bowls, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's like a natural conclusion, because that's how it all started when Flex got it over the head with a beer bottle, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like sort of like little callbacks and stuff. It's just really, it just adds that extra layer, and it makes it like really satisfying as well when you sort of have those conclusions.
Yes.
And then, of course, Flex won.
Yeah. Yeah, he does look good with 2 notes, to be honest with you.
And it was just a really, really good, like, feel-good moment.
Well, it was a nice way to send the crowd up, wasn't it? And they were buzzing when we left, because we stayed Flamingo, but a lot of people didn't, and they were buzzing, weren't they?
When we had to get the medic coming in to get the neck
poor
brace
old
on Simon.
Neck brace. I still want to get a save from that coming out of the ring with himself.
Yeah.
And Lewis and Simon were looking beaten up, and there's me smiling my face off.
Yeah. It was just, like a really, really strong finish, a good way of sending everybody home happy.
Brilliant show. Do you know what? That's probably the best show I've seen this year. Well, maybe for a long time, not just this year, but for a long time.
No, 100% I agree, and I feel like that was the general consensus from what I was hearing. We, I had work in the morning and I just couldn't sleep.
Yeah, me too. I was buzzing.
I was just really, really excited. Excited about wrestling.
Yeah.
Excited about the local scene. Just really excited to see so many of these wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see what comes next.
Well, next is Winter Warfare.
Yes.
Next is Winter Warfare. And
that's led on quite nicely, because we've got a few matches confirmed.
We've got one match confirmed for definite, and that's...
Or a few people, sorry.
Yeah, you've got Camille against LA Taylor.
That's going to be amazing.
Hopefully that's going to be the main event.
I believe I read it was.
Is it? Oh, excellent.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Excellent. That's good. You've got Nico Angelo.
I'm really excited about that.
It's good to see him. You've got Eddie Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah, you have as well, and you've got Bram, of course.
Yeah, and it's been a while since he's been.
It's been a while. It's been a few years since Bram's been. He's a really nice guy though, massive, tall.
And he's
met him before?
No, I've not met him, because I think one time where I did see him at a show, I was very new to going to shows,
right, yeah,
and
so you didn't really know
I was very shy.
You were in those days.
I knew who he was. I was just too shy to go and meet him.
You were in those days.
Yeah, but I know that Bram's he's very well loved at UPW.
UPW
it
fans
is
love him.
Maybe something of a home to him.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's nice. It's a coup really for UPW to get him and Camille.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Camille and Ellie. It's going to be so
a great match,
good.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And I just love seeing how far LA Taylor has come since she debuted. She's not been going that long.
No, I think we saw her first match, didn't we?
You did, I didn't. It was the Academy show, and I couldn't make it because I was working.
That's right, yeah. So I remember, I think I came on and said, "Carson, this woman wrestler, she's going to be a big star tonight."
Yeah,
I said she's amazing already.
I've seen their promos on the Reach page, and you said it's a very good match.
Yeah,
I think LA Taylor really has got that star quality. So it's been really nice for us to see her sort of grow and develop.
Yeah.
And I like that obviously the pandemic hasn't held her back.
No,
it was not that long before the pandemic that she started.
She started getting really popular just as the pandemic hit. and then it sort of put it back a bit, and now she's she's
now
everywhere.
She's in progress.
Yeah, part of the Lana Austin experience.
Yeah, that's really really exciting.
Got to get to a Progress show now.
Oh, for sure.
And Summer Miller's there as well. Yeah, so
but it's going to be really interesting to see what else gets confirmed for Winter Warfare.
Yeah, I should imagine now you've had
and that's in Weymouth, isn't it?
Absolutely, 17th of December in Weymouth.
Are you going?
If I can finish work in time, I should be there. You better hope I do, because I drive you everybody else every time. So you'll be giving out help me round.
Getting on like train line now. It's like, is it possible?
No, it's possible to get there. You can help me out round that day.
Oh, suddenly I have to study.
Yeah. Tell you our job.
What else is coming up? What's the next show?
The next show that we're going to is Reach at the America Hall in Exeter, Pinel, on the 5th of November.
Yes.
There's going to be some fireworks there.
A nice, easy date to remember.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Remember the 5th of November.
And what do we know about this show?
Gunpowder, Treason and Jason King.
Yes.
I think I've seen Jason King and Victor Brady on the card. I think they're having a match, aren't they?
Oh, of course, because recently they've fallen out, no?
I believe so. We
got
didn't go.
kicked out the House of Cards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Cause,
I read about it on
This
Facebook.
is the first Reach match we've been to for 2 or 3 shows, haven't we? Because we've been busy.
It's been difficult, yeah. We were both... had bookings elsewhere for the last one,
I was at Goodison Park for the last one.
And I was with Eugene.
Yeah.
No, Eugene.
Oh, Eugene, that's right. Yeah,
you were supporting Eugene.
Yeah, you were. But there's also other matches. You've got some other matches going on. You've got Country Big against Kurt Rain. Fresh from getting beaten up by Landstorm, he's now going to probably beat up Kurt Rain. Get a bit of get his anger out on Kurt.
He's gone from storm to rain.
That's terrible.
Well, I just noticed there was like a little pattern there. Oh my god, is he going to team up with someone and go after Sunshine Machine next?
Oh my god.
He needs to just keep the theme going.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Is there a wrestler called Thunder Rose?
Thunder Rosa, yeah.
Yeah. You've also got Alexander Gray versus Heath. You know, Alexander Gray's on a roll at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he did lose his championship, but other than that,
that's what we're doing.
That's not me trying to like twist the knife, though. I was just getting a bit of fact in
But he's really on a roll at the moment. He's really getting popular as well, isn't he, Alexander?
I feel like he's got a really good momentum going because he seems to be sort of going here, there, and everywhere at the moment.
Oh yeah.
He's getting about a bit, and we like to see that.
It's like a few of the Reach Academy now. They're getting around, aren't they? They're doing other shows.
They're going further afield, and that's always really sort of nice and encouraging, isn't it?
Yeah. It's nice for them because they get a bit of experience doing other things rather than just Reach all the time, don't they?
Yeah, and they get to sort of face other people, and you always learn, don't you?
Somebody who's getting around a bit from Reach, going to a lot of shows and becoming champion in places is Echo Reed.
Yes.
Yeah, she's really coming a lot, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's doing really well.
I'm actually quite excited for her
against
taking on Mariah May. Yeah. That's going to be really good.
That's going to be a good match. I'm looking forward to that one.
And seeing as Mariah May is like, she's international, she's been all sorts of places. It'll be a really good bit of experience for Echo Reed, like win or lose. But I think that's going to be a pretty solid match. So,
yeah.
Did you mention that last one there?
No, I was just going to mention that.
Okay, great.
And then probably the main event will probably be Lance Cole against Joe Redman,
which is basically going to be an instant classic. It's two of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Joe's well respected and Lance is at the top of his game, isn't he?
You see either of those names anywhere on a card and you know that it's going to be good.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
I've never seen Lance put on a bad match. I've never seen Joel put on a bad match.
No, I haven't, to be honest with you.
They're both very, very consistent. You can tell that they work really hard.
Yeah.
And again, they've both been knocking around for quite a while now.
Yeah,
so.
They have.
Have we ever seen Lance versus Joel before?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like I've seen a lot of combinations, but I don't think... I mean, obviously, they probably have wrestled before, but I've never seen these two.
Not in a singles match, I don't think, no.
No.
I got a feeling we might have seen them once in a tag match on opposite sides somewhere, but I'm not too sure.
It does seem to be a good sort of mix, balance of your mainstays in Reach and your academy people that are like up-and-comers. Like, obviously, Josh taking on an up-and-comer.
Yeah.
Echo Reed's pretty well established on the main roster.
Everybody's, the thing is, you say about Echo Reed now, people like Echo Reed and that, it's academy, but they're not now. They're sort of.
That's what I just said.
That you did. They're stars in their own right, aren't they?
And it's good as well to see that maybe the women's division is expanding a wee bit more.
It's about time.
Because they had Nina Samuels at the last one.
They did.
And they've got Mariah May at this one.
Aurora beat her as well.
Yes. So
a friend of mine who went, he said it was a match of the night for him.
Good. So I'm hoping that that's going to be more of a thing going forward because I do think that it's difficult for promotions to have like a strong women's division because they get snapped up so quickly. Well, I used to see it in Defiant all the time. That like you'd suddenly have like Millie McKenzie disappear because she couldn't go to Defiant
it's like when
anymore.
she was at Reach, wasn't it? You know, she was a champion at Reach.
It's like they start getting the success. I mean, obviously now NXT UK isn't. I don't know. It might be different now. I don't know.
I don't think so. Well,
I don't know. Things do change.
I don't think NXT UK is gone though, isn't it?
Well, it's NXT Europe, but I know
that started up again, is it?
Yeah, but some people who are on NXT UK haven't been taken on to NXT Europe, like Millie McKenzie. Actually, she is now a free agent.
Cool.
So things might change. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, but we've had it before. We've reached. They had Candy Floss that time at TNR.
Yes.
It's just nice to see.
Wasn't it?
I believe so. Maybe. It's just nice to kind of like be able to sort of mix it up a wee bit.
It is, yeah.
And just kind of like keep things fresh.
Yeah, I do miss LA Taylor at Reach though.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I think she was brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, I do miss her at Reach. And I tell you,
she's very standout.
Yeah, well, she's 6 foot. She stands out amongst her division, doesn't she? Really, to be fair. But I mean, she towers over me sometimes. Yeah.
But she could hold her own against anybody.
Oh, of course she could. She could beat up any bloke on the roster, really, couldn't she? To be fair.
Yeah, I really liked it when she teamed up with Josh Knott and they were the tag team
that was good. That was awesome. Speaking of tag teams,
yes,
the tag teams in Reach, the tag team division, haven't really been given a chance. I don't think. I mean, that's my one criticism.
It's been very difficult.
It's been very sketchy. I mean, you've had the likes of Awooga Luke, like Omega Luke and Danny Boy. They form a tag team, and you've hardly ever seen them.
Yeah, that's surprising because there's not a lot of established tag teams.
And they're getting the social media going. They got a lot of the fans on their side, even though it's supposed to be bad guys.
Yeah.
They got a lot of the fans on their side because of social media, and the fans are getting behind them.
Yeah, and the thing is, like before, you had Beauty and the Beast, where like a big tag team, but they're not a thing anymore. No. There's a perfect space for a Awooga Luke.
Eddie Ryan got injured at Reach, right?
Yes.
So he had to relinquish the belt.
Yes.
Right. Fair enough. You get injured, you relinquish the belt. The tag team titles, when was the last time they got defended?
I don't know, because we've not seen Foxy Bingo in a while, have we?
I think it was the last time we saw that defended was at the when PJ joined Josh, wasn't it?
It's been a while.
They need to do something with those. I'm not being rude or horrible.
It's just maybe the consistency.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You know, and I don't understand why, because I mean, other companies can do a decent tag team division.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know.
I mean, maybe it might be changing going forward.
Yeah, it probably is.
I guess if we wait and see.
But the matches we read out there's no tag team match on the card for Reach, is there, in November?
That's true.
You know, so.
It would be good to be able to see some of those. I think there's not a lot of established tag teams that have been around and Reach for quite a long time besides Awooga Luke now.
Hopefully they can get Foxy back.
Yeah.
And he'll
I miss him in Reach.
Oh, Foxy was great, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Foxy was great. Him and Josh together, amazing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I miss.
But I'd love to see Foxy and Josh take on Awooga Luke.
Yeah,
I really would. Sure. That would be a great match. That would, you know.
For sure, and I really like Awooga Luke as a team because I just really like Danny Boy Johnson. I love like how his personality comes out and stuff like that. I love the interactions with the crowd. Both of them. Yeah. Love it.
I do. I've been to see. We've been to CPW a couple of times. I've been a couple of times. You've been once. But what I like about them, they've got Joey Seven and Jordan Sparks. Yeah. That's the face tag team there. The baby face, because they're really well over. Yeah. And you've had the Smoking Aces down there.
Greedy Souls.
And the Greedy Souls. Yeah. And they've been 2 fantastic matches. You know, and the Smoking Aces won one, and the Jordan and Joey won the other. Yeah. So they're doing. I mean, CPW are on fire at the moment, aren't they?
I think there's a lot of good stuff going on locally at the moment, which is really really nice to see.
Yeah.
I'm really.
My
really
one disappointment is that Chaos tickets went on sale 2 days for the doubleheader 2 days before. Yeah. CPW announced their show.
Oh yeah.
So we'd already booked tickets for the Chaos show, even though I may not be able to go because I might be after work. They won't let me have time off. Gits, Royal Mail, gits. But so obviously I'm not going to buy tickets for already bought tickets for Chaos.
You can't be in 2 places at once.
No, and besides, Chaos have got Lana Austin as well. So.
And my BFF.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Bronco.
Oh yeah, him as well. Yeah. He's going to be there.
But yeah, it is a shame when dates clash.
Yeah, it is. But these things happen, don't they?
Hopefully
hopefully it won't happen again. Yeah.
Because there's so many great shows to get to.
To be honest, I was gutted when I saw that when it came up on the CPW screen. It was the next show. It was on the same day, 26th of November. I was gutted.
Yeah.
I remember saying to Terry, "Oh, for God's sake!"
And you're not going to have as much of that crossover of the talent like Smoking Aces.
No.
Do you see what I mean? It makes it harder.
Yeah.
All around, really. We have to choose where we want to go.
Well, for me,
and the talent have to choose where they'd rather go. I suppose.
But for me, it was the fact that Chaos put the tickets out first. That's the only reason I'm going to Chaos. And we haven't been there for ages, have we?
No, it's been a very long time.
Yeah, that's been a very long time. And so there you go.
Yeah. So
what I would like to say is that Adam De Silva's retired now.
Yes.
And I just want to thank him for being a fantastic all-round nice guy.
Yeah.
You know, because you see him at shows and he'd always spend time talking to you, ask what you thought of the matches, and he'd always have a selfie with Lisa because she loves him, doesn't she?
Yeah. And all the UPW fans will just have so many great memories with him, with his matches and meet and greets.
Do you remember throwing the old jelly snakes at him?
Yeah.
That was brilliant, that was.
That was my first UPW show, we were doing that.
Yeah, but the fans took him to their heart, really. I mean, even when he was a bad guy and they were all chanting snake at him, they loved it, really, didn't they? You know. And he's got a mind. He got everybody wound up about it, you know. And when he turned on his brother, you know, at Weymouth, the hotel in Weymouth that time,
he definitely will be missed.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll still be around at shows. Maybe.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
So you know, but I think, and you could see he was getting better and better every match as well.
Yeah, it's always really nice to see when you can see someone's progression consistently through shows.
All the fans I've spoken to, they'll be sad to see him go.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, but you know, as long as he might be at shows still, money, you know, just in the background or just watching it, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
He'll still be a fan.
Of course, hopefully, yeah. But anyway, thank you, Adam, for all you've done and for being such a great guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we also say thank you to PJ because he recently announced...
PJ Jones, yeah.
And that, for me, it just seemed to come out of the blue, and I was so sad because he's been one of my favourites in the local scene. I saw him at like a lot of my first shows.
Some of the matches he's been in as well. He's been in the top matches, like against Niwa.
Yeah, never forget when we saw him at Chaos that time. I saw him in the main
event at Bodmin Jail. I think it was against Pete Dunne and Eddie Ryan in a triple threat match.
He's had a lot of highlights.
And I think you could put him in a match with anybody and he'd hold his own, PJ.
Yeah. I was always excited to see PJ on a card. So
yeah.
Very shocked and sad to see him go. But like with Snake, we've got so many good memories of PJ as well.
Oh God, yeah. It's a lot of change at the moment, isn't there, in wrestling?
Times are a-changing.
That's Bob Dylan, that was.
Oh.
Times they are a-changing. I didn't sing it quite like that, but you know.
Are you sort of like playing us out there?
I could have done, really.
So I expect we'll be back after the Reach show to talk about that.
I expect we'll, unless Victor Brady kills us somehow.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm sure we'll be back by then.
Yes, and we'll talk about Reach and all the other great stuff that's coming up.
Because we'll know more about Chaos then as well.
Exactly, so we'll be able to preview
talk about that, and we'll preview, even though we won't be going, we'll be previewing CPW as well, hopefully.
Yes.
So fair. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it from me.
It is, and that's a good night from him, and it's a good night from her. Bye!